Hey there, toy collector friends and Doctor Who fans alike. Welcome back to the channel. This is the Time Travelling Toy Collector, and this is the Character Options B&M Stores exclusive 8th Doctor range. And this is the collector figure set of 3 iterations of the 8th Doctor. 2 as seen on TV, 1 as seen not so much on TV, but more on a range of audio CDs and audio adventures. And when I say seen, he is seen because he does appear in photographs on the collector casings. So I appreciate their audios, but you can still see what he looks like. Anyway, enough of this madness. This is one of the now quite heavily sought after limited edition 5.5 inch 14 centimeters for those of you who prefer that, from Character Options, and it's a 3-pack. It's accompanied alongside a 3-pack of the 10th Doctor, which I've not been able to pick up, and to be honest, I might not, because the figures in that pack do not really engage me. I've got iterations of them already for in other collections and or singly, whereas this one, the only figure I currently have is this Doctor. I do have a Night of the Doctor figure, but it's sealed, and I was only able to get hold of one, and I've been that guy that's kept it sealed. That will not be the case with these, as these are coming out of the box. But yeah, really beautiful figures. The first version of the 8th Doctor there on the left is how he appeared in the TV movie from the 90s. A Wild Bill Hickok fancy dress costume, although it has been touched up in the colour department, much better than the one I've currently got. The middle one is how he appears in the Big Finish range, or at least a period of time within the Big Finish range of the 8th Doctor adventures, following on from, I believe it's from the Dark Eyes saga onwards. And then on the right hand side we have how the 8th Doctor appeared in Night of the Doctor, and most recently The Power of the Doctor, and who knows where else he may appear in the future. But yeah, so initially this is the very exciting set of 3 8th Doctor figures that we've been given, and I think it's a lovely little collection. I'm just going to swap it, turn it around quickly for you, and you can see on the back we have a little bit of a history of the 8th Doctor. It does talk about Big Finish as well, and then there's the Big Finish costume and the Night of the Doctor costume as well. So there's a few bits and pieces to read there in terms of continuity. That's all we're going to talk about around that. I'm now going to crack them out of this box and see what they're like in an 8th Doctor environment, so bear with. So, as if by magic, here we are transported to the 8th Doctor's TARDIS. It isn't. I'm heavily borrowing the Doctor Who magazine 4th Doctor secondary control room diorama, and using the Eagle Moss Hero Collector 8th Doctor's console in the background, just for giggles. But here the figures are, and I have to say, as I have just had a bit of a sort of in hand touch and hold and feel, these are lovely figures. So let's try and see if I can get through this whole thing without knocking any of them over. So this is the 8th Doctor as he first appeared in the TV movie back in the 90s. You can see that the Wild Bill Hickok costume, allegedly, but although those are Dr. Grace's boyfriend's shoes, that's a plot point, so you can go and see, if you've not seen it, go and see that and you'll understand the legacy of the shoes. I think this is beautiful. You can see that the watch chain there on the waistcoat. The waistcoat doesn't really seem to show up in this light, but it's a sort of metallic goldy shade. The buttons are lovely. The sort of green pressed velvet cowboy jacket, often mistaken for a Lord Byron sort of rip-off look. It really wasn't. It was probably, that was a shadow cast more by the 8th Doctor's physical appearance, Paul McGann throwing some Byron-esque visuals, but the outfit itself is Wild Bill Hickok fancy dress. So yeah, the head sculpt is very much of the time, with the Doctor notably wearing that wig which Paul McGann was required to wear. It's not a bad face sculpt, and it does cast some nice shadows if you tilt it just right. Yeah, it's probably quite reminiscent of how he was at the time, but it's not really moved on. Note no features or accessories for this particular iteration of the 8th Doctor. So whilst his hand is ready to hold a sonic screwdriver, there is not a sonic screwdriver to be seen, which I think is a bit of a shame. But I do have the original 8th Doctor sonic screwdriver with the 8th Doctor figure. You get plenty of articulation in the biceps. I'm not going to muck about too much with it because it's quite stiff. Sort of an upper arm bicep rotation, elbow articulation, very limited wrist articulation in both cases. There is a waist articulation. Again, it's quite stiff, so I'm not going to overly force that to show you, but it's there. Upper thigh rotation, knee rotation, very stiff, and no rotation in the ankles. Not that I was actually expecting to find any. So that's the 8th Doctor as he first appeared when he graced our screens back in the 90s for the TV movie, and then we move on to this iteration. And again, this head sculpt is one that was used for the War Doctor figure, unless I'm very much mistaken, which was a figure that also featured John Hurt the John Hurt iteration with an interchangeable head, and this I think was the interchangeable head. I do think this is a superior head sculpt, but perhaps it's just reminiscent of Paul McGann having aged in the role over the last few years, I'll say it that way. Now again, this is very nice. It's a very nice figure, and I think Character Options struck lucky here, because the costume that Paul McGann's Doctor ended up wearing for Big Finish post the Dark Eyes series, and I'll just go all the way down so you can see he's wearing, essentially it's jeans, some boots, a white t-shirt, and this sort of well, it's blackish greenish leather jacket with the gold buttons, a bit sort of Royal Naval approach, and of course his satchel. You know, the Doctor finally gets a man bag, and why not? Is clearly just a repaint, as far as they're concerned, as far as Character Options are concerned, of the 9th Doctor, the articulated 9th Doctor, as opposed to the first edition of the 9th Doctor figure, which was dreadful and had no physical, no real points of articulation. Again, he's ready to hold a sonic device, but he just doesn't have one, unless he's got a key for his TARDIS. Not that we've had the 8th Doctor's TARDIS released yet either, Character Options, just saying. Anyway, so this figure, again, beautiful, and I think they really lucked out at Character Options because they didn't have to actually create a new figure per se for this. They just had to repaint the 9th Doctor and pop on the 8th Doctor's head. So they definitely lucked out, but I really like this figure. And I think it was also originally released with a Dr. Dalek combination 2-pack. I don't know whether that was a B&M exclusive or not. But yeah, so that's lovely. We like that. Very good. And then the one I think I'm most excited about is the Night of the Doctor / Power of the Doctor. Spoilers potentially there if you've not seen it, but I won't say any more than that. This figure I think is really, really nice. And I think it also, even down to the costume design originally, because I think if I just do this, you can kind of see the evolution from the on-screen first appearance to the on-screen, let's call it current to final appearances of the 8th Doctor. This outfit is a real evolution, I think, of the 8th Doctor's first appearance. So you've got that sort of flowing greenish long jacket. You have the waistcoat again with that metallic shade and the chain showing, a belt, the sort of ascot, more of a cravat type thing going on there, the open collared shirt. You've got the ruffled trousers and the boots there, which look like boots of an infantryman, if I'm honest, or something similar. So this is the Doctor as he fought or survived or worked on the outskirts of the Time War. And again, this I think is a lovely figure. It doesn't come with any accessories. The last time I think I'm not sure if the one that I got in the special packaging came with any accessories, but certainly this one does not. But never mind. I think again the face sculpt is really good, and again we have all the same points of articulation. The legs are slightly more articulated, and the waist articulation is there again very stiff, so I'm not going to push it. But we also have, which I was delighted to see, this, which I hadn't noticed previously, and it may be a new addition for this release. I'm not sure. I'll go back and check my 8th Doctor in a box later. But we do have shoulder articulation that moves forwards and out, so that I think is a real strong evolution for this figure. But again, a beautiful set, and I'm really excited about it. This was the one I wanted to get. I did see the 10th Doctor set when I picked this one up, and I nearly purchased it because I do know what it's like trying to track down B&M exclusives. And I didn't, but I did get another one instead that was there. So I just wanted to share it with you because I was very excited and very pleased to finally sort of track these guys down. So I don't know whether you've been able to get hold of them. I don't know whether it's even something that you want to get hold of. Hopefully it would be, because if you're a Doctor Who fan, I do think this is a nice collector's set. I don't know whether on the back of that I'd be saying, yeah, and actually now having thought about it, I probably will go and pick up the 10th Doctor 3-pack. I'm not sure. Well, I'll see how the mood takes me, and again I'll see again if they've got any left next time I pop into B&M when I start looking in November 2022 to see if any of the other new sets have arrived, because there's a couple in there that I'm quite excited to explore. So this was the brand new 8th Doctor 3-pack collection from B&M via Character Options. Does it warrant a place in your collection? Well, it probably does if you're a Doctor Who fan and you're an action figure collector, and like me you've got quite a range of Doctor Who related action figures and similar, and you may well want to do some toy photography with these. It's a really good opportunity to pick up some figures you may have missed along the way. Again, apologies, this is not an appropriate 8th Doctor diorama. I don't think Doctor Who magazine have released one yet, so I hope they do. And again, if you want to have a close look at that 8th Doctor console, you'll find a separate video for that elsewhere on my channel. Thanks very much for being an excellent audience for this video. If you found it of interest or of use, helping you decide whether or not you want to get your hands on this set, if indeed you can get your hands on this set, then do smash that like button, and please do subscribe to the channel, because there's a lot of stuff coming up. So there's more Doctor Who, there's more Transformers, whether it's Legacy, G1, War for Cybertron, all sorts of stuff. There's also going to be more, as I said, Doctor Who, there's going to be more Battlestar Galactica, there's going to be more Star Trek, there's going to be more Star Wars, all sorts of things, and a few more bits around the Supernatural franchise as well, because I've had a few requests for that, so I'll be getting something out for that, as well as a few new diversions into some wider collections and things that are nostalgia driven. So anyway, that's for the future. Hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, and whilst you're here, have a little look around the channel. There might be something that takes your fancy. Thanks for spending the last 15 or 16 minutes with me. I really appreciate it. I have been the time traveling toy collector. You have been the most remarkably patient and attentive of audiences. This has been the 3-pack 8th Doctor collection from Character Options B&M Exclusive, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next video. Remember that a thing of beauty really is a toy forever. Take care, and bye-bye for now.